benefits of growing older and wiser. You know,
That's a loaded statement.
This comes from when I was on holiday in Ireland, noticing people my age and older going off for a swim in the Irish Sea every single day. Now, you know, sometimes the sea, you know, where we go to kind of stay on holiday looks really nice. But most of the time this year was just grey, choppy, full of jellyfish, and of course all the effluent. So I didn't really get enticed, but everyone else was going in, you know, every day, almost like a religious observance. I thought, wow, that's really amazing. And a lot of it was that they were doing it because, you know, this is a place they have known since their childhood, and it's almost something they have always done every year. They've always made sure they go and swim and, you know, engage with the sea, you know. And it's almost their way of maintaining their kind of youth and their vision and their spirit of youthfulness is to kind of, I'm never too old to kind of go and throw myself in this sea and have fun. And I think that's really fantastic, you know. But at the same time, there's lots of things like that which we should be doing to maintain our youthful spirit. But there's also other things that we should be aware of that the aging process gives us access to, and new things that, because of almost the reduction of the passion of and the kind of ambitions of our youth, where we're actually bewildered by the possibilities of life, where now we can be more thoughtful and appreciative of this kind of the spiritual values. So I was meditating on the fact that there is a certain irony that it's not that we lose, you know, in one sense, as we get older, we're losing our youth, but actually we're entering a phase when we can begin to see that youth is an illusion and that the spirit is eternal and therefore never can be lost. So we can actually feel more youthful, more immortal now than we could do when we were much younger.
And if youthfulness or youth is an illusion, then age is an illusion.
Exactly.
And in fact, if you have no concept of youthfulness, then you have no concept of that criteria, if you like, for applying it to a certain area or part of your life where you consider yourself to be youthful.
Yeah. I mean, they say, obviously, a woman's as young as she looks and a man is as young as old as he feels, or as young as the woman he's with. Yes. But actually, it's all wrong, because we're really only as old as we believe. And there's no reason to believe that we're old, young, or anything.
Absolutely.
Because we're not this body.
Absolutely.
We are a spiritual entity beyond the changing body.
And in fact,
and therefore can't be defined by it.
Yeah. And in fact, this is very interesting, because if you think about it, if we had a different concept of death, if we didn't think of death in terms of finality or ending, if we just thought of death as being, and I'm using the word because it's the familiar term, but let's even use a different word, some sort of transformation, if you like, which it is at an energy level. That's all it is, at an energy level. It's just a transformation of energy. The physical body may decay and die, let's say, but at the quantum physical level, nothing changes. It's just a transformation of energy. So that whole concept of death implies and allows us, if you like, to believe in this concept of age, because age is judged by ultimately the time when we expect to die. And that's basically it. You know, and if you take that out of the equation, then, you know.
Yes, I mean, age is so kind of linked with the body. The Gita only talks of death as a point of change in circumstances for the Atma, the soul, where we're currently inhabiting this particular body, and at a certain point that body is no longer useful to us for various reasons, and time to move to a better and a new one.
Mm.
So there really is just a change. So the age may apply to the body simply because you can mark it out in its periods of time, but age has no value to the soul.
But as you say, it's about the belief. In a sense, the age doesn't apply to the body either, except as part of our belief system that actually infuses, in a sense, our body. You know, it's like we believe that at a certain age that we will, you know,
but it only
our body will transform.
But the point is, do you believe that you are the body, or are you something different from the
absolutely.
body? Are you something utterly distinct from the body? So that, like the fact that you may call my car aged, doesn't affect me, because I am not the car.
Exactly.
So similarly, to call
Absolutely.
my body aged is
Well, you're
no
not
value,
your body either.
because I'm not the body.
Yeah.
I'm simply the user, the owner, the driver of it.
Yeah.
But I can't be defined by anything to do with my body, whether it's old, young, black, white, male, female, etc.
I mean, think of it this way: what actually creates age or decay or entropy in the body? What else apart from our thinking and our belief system?
No, there is an energy. The body, as you say, is energy, and it is being acted on by another energy, kala, which is, you know, in the West we have one word, time, which actually has many different meanings and significances. In the kind of Hindu tradition, it breaks up kind of certain aspects of time in different ways. And one of them is to think of time not as a dimension, but as an energy which acts on other energetic things, you know, such as physical matter, which is, you know, just a form of energy. And it acts on it to mould it, to change it. Now, the fact that it looks more wrinkled now than it did in the past, we call that the terrible effects of aging. But that's simply just the changes that matter is going through thanks to kala. But the inhabitant of the body remains just the same, just carries on in its own transcendental way with this thing changing around us. But we're not affected.
It's interesting, you see, because I mean, we know, don't we, from the work of people like Chopra and others, that the body reproduces itself, you know, on a weekly, monthly, 3-monthly, you know, we get a new liver every 6 months, I think it is, we get a new stomach every 3 months. You know, the cells all, you know, are renewed.
Yeah.
So in that sense, you know, what is aging about? Aging, according to people like Chopra, is based on cell memory. And that cell memory, where does that come from? That comes either from, as you say, if you like, another force, another energy, or from our own creative energy, our own state of consciousness, which is our belief system, our thoughts, our expectations, if you like, which are translated into the reality that we create.
But kala is, you know, you're quite right, the body, the cells of the body are changing, and, you know, different parts of the body and different cells do change in different ways. Most of the body, the cells are reproduced in that way. Brain cells aren't. Brain cells are a little different, but still the chemistry of the brain cells changes, you know, so that after a certain period, every atom and molecule in this body, I think I think for the whole process is 7 years, but after 7 years, there's not one single atom or molecule in your body that was there 7 years ago. You're a completely different set of chemistry, and that has fascinating consequences because we know we were there in the past. We know we were there in the little body, you know, of our childhood, in our youth, in our middle age, you know, where we are now, but the bodies that we had in those days have all disappeared, chemically speaking. So we must be something different to chemistry. Consciousness cannot be a chemical phenomenon.